Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you guys a settlement that I built on Arrakis, so let's crack right on into it. Before this, let's just get rid of the just make sure I'm not going to dive water real quick. And underneath, what I've done is I've built a huge platform. And the reason I've done this is if you've built on this game, especially in areas where there's just a lot of sand, like here, you can see that it will literally go inside your build. So to avoid that, what I've done is I built a too high tall platform. That way other players can drive underneath because I don't have a dildo strapped to my head, and they can get past. I'm not blocking anything, and I have a flat canvas for building on. So that's what I've done. This is the sort of length of the city under here. This is a storage sort of unit for certain storage. I'll show you guys in a bit. And it does go up here a little bit as well, and a little bit more platforming up here as well. So quite a bit of platforming had to be done here to sort of get this build to go. These pillars sort of here that I'm running through, I do need to move these across one, and I'm going to show you guys here why, but I can explain it right now. Because the top sort of pierces through the ceiling at the top there, I can actually design a sort of road system from the top view. So let's go up and let's have a look at it. So right away we can come up and we've got storage for our lovely bikes here, and this is just going to be just a cozy little area for people to put their bikes. Over here we've got buggy storage, and I guess a bike storage. I don't know what I was doing with that. We can fit 4 buggies in here, but if I really need to extend, I probably could, but I think 4 buggies right now is what I'm going to stick to. If we go upstairs, this is where all our storage units will be. We do need to upgrade a lot of this stuff here. I've just not really had the time because I'm also working on another server with another character, but a bunch of storage around these parts here. And there are 2 sets of stairs. I'm going to go up this set of stairs first. Here we've got our water sort of stuff. This is still a work in progress in this room. We've obviously got to add more of these. We've got to add more of these. We just haven't really gotten round to it, and I'm debating creating a sort of second floor sort of deal. I'm not sure, kind of like what I've done here with all our generators, which I kind of want to replace because this is a lot of generators, and I kind of want to replace with the outdoor ones. Yes, cat, I am here and you have been fed. Yes, cat, hold on. All right, sorry, the cat just needs a slight bit of attention. So if we just go up the stairs from the storage and the generators and all that sort of stuff, we enter the hangars. And this is our large hangar. We do have another hangar as well, but it is very small. But this is our large hangar. We can fit a fair bit in here. We can't fit a carrier in here or anything like that. But what we can fit in here, you know, some smalls, some mediums, and I think that's fine. So that's all got quick access to water and storage down those stairs. So if you follow me this way, and this is one of 3 ways into our workshop, which is obviously still a work in progress. I literally got this build done like 2 days ago, so there's still a lot we have to do in here. There's a bunch. So this space here is going to be more workstations, fabricators, so on and so forth. We've got our small spice refinery, and this all leads straight into the storage and water facilities rather easily and quickly. And this is actually our second way into the workshop. You can go downstairs. This is the 3rd way into the workshop, and this leads to the front, and we will check that out here in a second. But I'm going to go upstairs and show you guys something my wife has sort of done. I just created the space, so I built everything, my wife decorated. So up here we've got the quote-unquote roleplay area, and this is sort of the bedroom, which no, we do not ERP. Everyone just relax. Okay. Over here we've got the worm statue. I think this is really cool in here. I do have to seal off up here, but I'll get to that. You know, we'll get to that. A couple little bits. Oh, my wife's actually here doing who knows what. reading a book or something. Out here, she's done something really cool with this balcony. I kind of like what she's done here. It's sort of a dining area outside, and you're still protected from, well, I would say rain, but I guess sand. And then if we go to the other side, this is where our small ornithopter parking area or hangar is, and she's got hers here right now. So technically you can actually fit 2 in here, but she's claimed that as her own and has thrown mine out. So that's not, I'm not allowed there anymore, unfortunately. Right, so outside now. Downstairs, all the way down, past the workshop and all that, we do have these 2 little balconies. I know, pointless, but they're there to look cool, add a little detail. And all the way down at the bottom, we do have water storage. So yeah, we do have that water area at the top, but all of the water storage is actually going to be down here. But just putting those you know, couple of blood purifiers upstairs, as well as the corpse things upstairs, it's going to be quicker access for those coming back on buggies, flying around, and all that sort of stuff. So putting this down here, you know, we don't need everything together, and it just clears up a lot of space for us. Over here we do have a box in there. I think there's leader johns and a scythe and something like that, and I am stuck here. Hello, there we go. Okay, weird bug. Anyway, so out here you can see just leads outside, so if you wanted access you can. I literally just put the stairs here. I'm gonna put ramps on it and stuff like that. There's a few little bits of finagling, detailing that could be done, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Right, outside, there's my ornithopter being thrown out of its hangar and put down here. This is actually a protected area. It just doesn't have a shield on it. If I put walls here, I could put a shield on it, but I just really like these sort of pillars, you could say. That's exactly what they are. They're pillars. But yeah, if I really wanted to, I could put a shield here, but I don't think it's necessary. I don't really use it too much, but yeah, it is there. I'm doing my absolute dandiest not to burp on screen. Like, I'm holding it in. But yeah, so this is what it looks like from the front, all of the areas. So we went through here, up into there, you know, up into the hangars and everything, into this building here with the workstations and the blood purifiers, the generators, and the storage, which is in a mix of here and here. And you can kind of see the sort of scape that we've created here, and I just think it looks absolutely awesome, don't you think? I think this looks pretty sweet, but I'm sure someone's down there is going to be like, it looks ugly, which is fine. You know what? That's okay. I'm okay with that. You know, if you think it's ugly, let me know in the comments down below. Right, so these houses here, this is one that my wife built and I had to finish. She got most of the way done, and then I just finished it off and sort of actually made it work because there was a few areas that didn't make sense, but we got there in the end. Here's a build that I did and is owned by a couple, and in here they're going to have their personal storages and everything like that, and that will be on a different circuit so that their stuff is their stuff, and obviously the guild stuff is going to be on one. So if they want to use the guild stuff, it is there, sort of like a give-take system we've got going on here. Here we have another building, and this is for another couple actually, and this is one that I did. I sort of just went wild on this one, and actually really happy with the way it came out. Just like quite modern, but not all at the same time. Lots of room for storage, and if they wanted to decorate and use those decorative pieces, they can. And I just think it just came out really well, really cool. This is actually the first one that I added, and a friend of mine has done some renovations, it looks like. So this is a balcony that he's sort of sealed off with this roof piece. But this is, you know, I tell people, you have this space, do what you want with it, tear down the home if you really wanted to, and rebuild on there. But he's made a nice little cozy little spot here. There's obviously a couple bits and pieces here that he could add when he gets to it. But you know, he's got his storage over here. And yeah, it's a cozy little home. Over here we've obviously got a worm, and this is another build that I did. This is a platform I did after all those houses we just looked at. I'm not the biggest fan of this building, but my friend claimed it and said, yo, it's fine, I'll take it. And he's got his boxes in there, and he's actually done a little bit of decorating in here. So let's just have a little peek what's going on in here. Wow, he's actually done quite a bit in here. He's even got his paintings up on the wall. I wasn't actually expecting the guy who owns this to necessarily do anything, but it looks like he did. He's even got his own water facilities. Okay. Fair enough, mate. Good for you. Right, let's get out of here before he finds me in there. I am the owner of this land, so I can go everywhere. There is nowhere I cannot go. Let's just keep moving here. So up here we've got another friend's little spot. He wanted something a high-rise. I didn't really quite go with a high-rise. I sort of went with a mushroom cottage looking home on top of a platform, which is on top of another platform. But he gets a decent view, a decent look out onto the other little houses down there, and I don't think it's too half bad, to be honest. Let's see what he's got. He's actually done quite a bit in there. Quite a lot of decorating, quite a lot of filling out the area, and I like to see it, and it's just great. And then this sort of space here, not sure what I'm going to be doing with it. Right now it's just here, but perhaps maybe someone's going to build on here or something like that, I think. Not too sure what's going on there, but I'm sure we'll find out one day. Who knows? So this is the back of the workshop area. Not too fancy, but you know, it's not, I mean, it looks like a box, but it's not a giant box, at least. But yeah, so this is the city that I have sort of created. We've called it the city of Agavar. I believe it's named after the seeds in this area. I know I'm going to be pronouncing that wrong, and someone's going to be like, you sound like an idiot. But that's what we're going to go with right now. I'm rolling the dice. I hope it's correct. I hope it's correct. My wife is going to kick me up the arse otherwise. But yeah, no, I think it just looks absolutely awesome. Like, just coming up and through here, you just get a feeling of it's alive. People are living here. Civilization out on Arrakis. And you're not just living in a glorified box like most people are. And I'm not saying don't live in a glorified box, but it does feel awesome coming back to a home that does look awesome. And I do recommend it. I do think people should try, especially on Haga Basin, where nothing's going to happen to your home. I mean, where are you in a rush to? The deep desert? And then what? You know what I mean? Then what? It's nice to come back to something that's nice. Spend the time, you know, do a little bit of detailing. For example, I can show you what I mean by detailing. And right here, these are pointless little bits that I added to a balcony, right? Here's a balcony, pointless little bits. They don't need to be here. There's even railings that go around them like this that I'm standing on. It just doesn't need to be there. But it just adds a little flair to it. Super easy, super effective. For example, on the hanger, right up here, we have this sort of wedge piece, this rather long wedge piece right here. This isn't holding it up. It doesn't hold it up at all. Just this singular pillar is holding that up from this point, right? All that support that's hanging off the end here comes from this singular pillar. But it does add to that effect. And we're on Haga Basin. Your base isn't going anywhere unless you leave it for a month. Why not spend some time doing it? Now, you're probably wondering, how long did it take me to build this base? I solo farmed this base, and I solo built this base. And it took me roughly around 8 hours to do this. Now, you split that up 2 hours a day, 4 hours a day. It's really not that bad, and that was solo. Now imagine you did that with someone. You can be like, hey, why don't you go do the houses down there and I'll do the main build. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't take that long to make something big, and this is maxing out on the territory we can own on this fief. Actually, we have all of the territory claimed for this to try and get this to really fit and feel sizable. And I mean, there's a lot of empty space to it, but it does work. And you know, I'm just saying, give it a go. It can be fun. It can be enjoyable. They've provided some really cool pieces, and it's something that I had a lot of fun with. But I'm going to end the video there. I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of freeform camera sort of on there and everything build showcase. I don't normally show my builds, but I just felt like this one just warranted a little bit of a video and a little bit of a showcase. But with that all out the way, cheers all for joining me. Thanks all for watching, and I'm going to catch you all on the next one.